Good night, America! It's time for your news by the numbers. Tonight's number is 42. Yeah, that's right. 42 people now own the same amount of wealth as the bottom 3.7 billion people in the world. Income inequality continues to increase at an alarming rate. Last year saw the biggest increase in the number of billionaires in history, a new one every 2 days. With Donald Trump in office and Republicans controlling Congress, what can we do to stop this disturbing trend? I mean, I think that is such a good question. And I don't know if we'll ever figure out the answers, because we have 3 years of this. I don't even have the right word to describe him in office. And I think what we saw from the tax cut bill that they passed, they call it a Christmas present. I call it a coal in your stocking. We saw a bill that gave millions and, billions of dollars to corporations and rich people with this ideal that is going to trickle down. And now, yes, some corporations have decided to give out bonuses, and some corporations have decided to hire some more workers. But this bill has been put in place to generally benefit the wealthy at the expense of the poor. But let's not talk about that right now, and let's get into where these numbers came from. This all comes from an Oxfam report, and it's a pretty interesting findings in this report. The one that I thought was the most striking to me was this. Take New York City. So New York City has about, what, 8 million people that live there. Now take New York City, double it again, keep doubling. So think about it, 400 New York cities, that's about 3.7 billion people. There are 42 people in the world. 42. Not 50, not 100, not 1,000, 42. That's about, I don't know, that's like a small commuter jet. Right? So a small commuter jet worth of people have more wealth than 3.7 billion people. So that's the entire country of China, the entire country of India, and we're still looking for another billion people. That's insane. And what makes this even scarier is how fast they gain the wealth. The report cites that working folk like you and I, we've only seen our wages increase by 2% over the past year. Whereas then rich people saw their wages increase by 13%. That's almost a 6 times difference. So their wages increased 6 times faster than ours has. And what's more alarming in this report, of the 2,043 billionaires, 9 out of 10 of them, wait for it, 9 out of 10 of them are men. And I would make the next assumption for you. They're white men. Yeah, buddy. There's a system, they've literally created a system that only benefits them. But let's take a look, let's take a look at some of this stuff, right? So the first thing I want you to think about is the super rich have grabbed a bulk of the wealth over the past 3 decades. So we've seen economic growth all across the world. In China, in India, in Europe, in the United States. Even in South America, we've seen economic growth. But this growth has not trickled down to working folk. Young, like small-time shop owners, small-time farmers, small-time bed and breakfast owners. This wealth has gone to millionaires and billionaires, and at a striking level. I mean, the numbers are off the charts. The slope on this is almost a 1. If anybody knows anything about statistics, a 1 of a slope means it's like straight up, and the slope is almost 1. That's how crazy it is, right? The other thing is, what makes this even more concerning to me is the people that write our laws. This is all from this Oxfam report. And the people that write our laws are also rich, right? Which makes it even scarier. So they don't even have the little guy in mind because they don't know what the little guy is feeling. So think about it this way. The median income for a member of Congress is $912,000. The median income for an American family is $120,000. Put that into perspective for just a second. That means they make almost 9 times, members of Congress' wealth is almost 9 times the wealth of an average Main Street American family. So how is it possible that these people are writing our laws and advocating on our behalf? How can Donald Trump say he wants to make America great again when he doesn't even know what America feels like, what it looks like, because he's never seen it before. He spends more time in his gold-plated palace in Trump Tower than he actually does understanding what's happening to real Americans. And this tax bill, right? The tax bill that gave away millions and billions of American tax dollars to the richest and wealthiest Americans. Here are the gains for you people. 720% gain for Wall Street profits, right? Whereas we've seen a negative 35% decrease in home equity. The proof is in the pudding. Facts don't change. This is not fake news. This is real life. And the real life is that poor people are suffering and the rich continue to get richer.